We all know a lot of the different tenses and cases as Gaeilge can be quite tricky due to the amount of rules that apply to each one. But one tense that's actually quite straightforward and easy to learn is the imperative. The imperative is essentially when I'm giving someone a command. I'm saying, eat this, go there, run here. I'm telling them what to do. And as Gaeilge, all we're going to do is use the root by itself. So let's say if I want to tell you to clean the room, all I'm going to say is glán an seomra. Now, how do I know glán is the root? That can be the trickiest part sometimes for a lot of people because we so rarely use the root on its own as Gaeilge. But again, just think about it in one of the simple conjugations. Let's say glán an sé, he cleans. I'm just going to take away my present tense ending and I'm left with glán. That's the root. In the same way, let's say thóg siad, they took. I'm going to take away my H, which dictates that it's past tense, and I'm left with tóg. That's my root. Take the present, tóg an bruntanas. For plurals, in other words, when we're talking to more than one person, I'm going to add on an igi at the end. This is especially useful if you're a school teacher, when you're talking to a lot of kids. So you could say, déinigí an obair, do the work, or bígí ciúin, be quiet. To negate it, we're just going to add a ná beforehand. And the good news is, we don't have to put any séús or ers or anything like that. So if I tell you, don't do that, all I'm going to say is ná déin é sin, or to a group of people, ná déinigí é sin. The last and probably the trickiest part of the imperative is remembering what the root of the irregulars are. You might know a verb like say pretty well in the past, present and future, dort, der and derhi, but what about the root? Might be quite hard to remember. It's going to be obair, because again, with irregular roots, you're never really going to be using them by themselves, and they can be quite different from each conjugation of past, present, future, conditional, whatever else. So, even more reason to be going back over on seanglan.ie, folklore.ie, a glance card, which is really useful if you have one, and be learning off the roots for the irregulars. There's only 11 of them in the imperative, only 7 or 8 that you're going to be using relatively often, and make sure you know them off by heart. Le haid bhaid níos mó content tíorcha sa le seo, bígí leanúns, see, I just used the imperative there, learn Irish online.